What's up guys, I'm back with a new video and I have a question for you guys. So when you pull out your phone out of your pocket and you check your signal, have you ever wondered where that signal comes from? Right now it's all coming from cell towers, thousands of them spread across cities, mountains and rural towns. But what if one day all those signals didn't come from the towers but they came directly from space? Not from one satellite, not from 10 satellites, but from an entire constellation orbiting the planet. Okay, guys, this maybe sounds like fucking science fiction or like Interstellar, but this is currently happening, and the companies trying to build this in the future are some of the most fascinating companies in the entire stock market. Today, we will be talking about three space stocks that investors are watching closely. So, these stocks are the Rocket Lab, AST Space Mobile, and Intuitive Machines. Each one of these companies is building a completely different part of one of what some analysts believe could be $1 trillion space economy. But here's the thing, space companies can either become massive infrastructure giants or extremely expensive science experiments. So the question is simple. Are these companies building the next generation of global infrastructure, or are they just hype stocks riding the excitement around the space industry? Guys, stay with me because by the end of the video, you're going to understand the bull case scenario, the bear case scenario, and the key catalyst investors are watching for each one of these companies. So let's get right into it. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome to Luca Trades. We cover stock news, economic trades, and companies that most investors are not aware of and don't know. So all I'll ask in return is if you hit the beautiful like button, if you share this with a friend, if you press the notification bell, and if you, of course, subscribe. So let's get right into it. Remember, guys, this is not financial advice. This is just my opinion and the way I see things and the way I'm going to invest in a couple of stocks. So, guys, first up, we have Rocket Lab, ticker RKLB. Now, when most people hear the phrase space company, the first thing that comes to mind is SpaceX, of course. And that makes sense because SpaceX is everywhere. Elon Musk tweets about all his shit. So SpaceX has completely changed the economics of the launch industry. But here's a problem. SpaceX is a private company. You can't invest in it. So here's where Rocket Lab comes. It's one of the few publicly traded companies actually launching rockets today. And they've been doing it successfully. Their main rocket is called Electron. Electron is designed to launch small satellites into orbit, and it has become one of the most reliable small launch vehicle in the industry, and the market is growing fast. Why? Because satellites are getting smaller, cheaper, and more powerful. That means more companies want to launch satellites. Earth imagining companies, telecommunication companies, defense contractors, weather monitoring companies, all of them need access to space. And Rocket Lab provides that access. But launching the rockets is only part of the story. The real opportunity of Rocket Lab is something called Neutron. Neutron is the company's upcoming large reusable rocket. And this rocket could become a game changer for the company. Because bigger rockets mean bigger payloads, and bigger payloads mean bigger contracts. Now, if Neutron works the way Rocket Lab hopes it will, the company could start competing for missions that are currently dominated by much larger players in the launch industry. But here's something a lot of investors miss. Rocket Lab is not just a rocket company anymore. They also build satellite components, they manufacture spacecraft systems, and they even build complete satellites for customers. So the company is slowly transforming from a launch provider into something much bigger, a space infrastructure company. And infrastructure is where the real money is. Because if the space economy really does grow into hundreds of billions or even trillions of dollars, the companies providing infrastructure will likely capture massive portions of that value. Now, the stock has been volatile recently, and a big reason for that is development delays with the Neutron rocket. But delays are obviously extremely common in the aerospace industry because it's really techy and very hard. The real question investors need to ask is whether Rocket Lab can execute its long-term strategy. Because if they do, the company could become one of the most important infrastructure providers in the space industry. Okay, now let's move on to the second company, AST SpaceMobile, ticker ASTS. And what this company is trying to build sounds almost unbelievable. A satellite network that connects directly to your smartphone. No satellite dish, no extra hardware, no special equipment, just your normal phone. Imagine hiking in the mountains or sailing across the ocean or driving through remote areas where cell towers simply don't exist and still having full signal on your phone. That is the vision behind AST SpaceMobile. Instead of building thousands of expensive cell towers across the whole world, which are ugly and which cost a lot of money, they want to connect people directly from space. And what makes this story even more interesting is that major telecom companies are already involved. Companies like Vodafone and Verizon have partnered with AST Mobile because if this technology works, it could completely transform global telecommunication industry. Now, the company has already demonstrated something incredibly important. Their satellites have successfully connected directly to normal smartphones during testing. That's a huge technical advantage. But of course, building a global satellite network is extremely expensive. The company needs to launch many more satellites to create full coverage, which means AST SpaceMobile is still burning cash while it builds its infrastructure, but the potential market is enormous. Billions of people around the world still lack reliable mobile connectivity, and AST SpaceMobile wants to solve that problem. And now for the third company on our list, we have Initiative Machines, ticker LUNR. And this company is focused on something that sounds like it came straight from Interstellar. So, the moon economy. For decades, the moon was mostly a destination for government missions, but it's starting to change. NASA is currently preparing a major program called Artemis, which aims to return humans to the moon and eventually establish a permanent presence there. And companies like Initiative Machines are helping make that possible. They build lunar landers designed to transport equipment, experiments, and technology to the surface of the moon. These landers are part of NASA's commercial lunar payload service programs, which allow private companies to deliver payloads to the moon. And that creates something interesting, because if lunar missions become more frequent, an entirely new industry could emerge. Just imagine that. We aren't doing anything yet on the moon, like this serious. And imagine if this could work and will happen, it would be huge. So think about scientific research, satellite communication, resource exploration, and eventually even a lunar infrastructure. So companies capable of landing equipment safely on the moon could become extremely valuable uh, players in that ecosystem. Of course, space missions are risky, things can go wrong, but Initiative Machines continues securing contracts and successfully executing missions. It could play an important role in the future of lunar exploration. So, why would investors be excited about these companies? Well, all three of them are building infrastructure for the future of space. Rocket Lab is building infrastructure for launching rockets and manufacturing spacecraft. AST SpaceMobile is building infrastructure for global satellite connectivity. And Initiative Machines is building infrastructure for lunar exploration. And infrastructures tend to become extremely valuable when the industry they support grow large enough. Now, of course, there's also a bear case scenario. Space companies are extremely capital intensive, so they burn a lot of cash. Projects can take years to complete, and delays are common. If these companies fail to execute their plans or struggle to secure enough funding, their stocks could experience significant volatility. These are not stocks you buy and forget about. These are stocks you watch carefully. So, my final thoughts, the space industry is changing rapidly. Private companies are launching rockets, building satellite networks, and even preparing missions to the moon. And the companies building the infrastructure for this new space economy could become some of the most important technology companies for the next generation. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these three companies do you think has the biggest upside potential? Rocket Lab, AST Space Mobile, or Initiative Machines? Drop a comment below. And if you found this breakdown valuable, make sure to hit the beautiful like button, subscribe for more content, and I hope to see you in the next video. I also hope if you guys have some tips or want other stocks to learn about or want something else, please comment below in the video and we can talk about it. We can experiment together and yeah, see you guys next video.